Welcome to the Disruptive Franchise Podcast with me, Stacey Cann. I interrupt your normal intro with exciting news. Right now, the Disruptive Franchise Awards 2026 is open for entry. So make sure you head to disruptivefranchiseawards.com/awards and get your entry in before Friday, the 6th of March. Enjoy the episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the Disruptive Franchise Awards. So this week, I've got with me a very special guest. I have got Sarah from Cadence. Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I am doing very well, thank you. And it's an absolute delight to be here. Very excited about talking to you, Stacey.
Pleasure to have you. Thank you. Tell everybody listening and watching all about your business, Sarah. Tell us what you do.
So fundamentally, I take headshots of people for distributed teams remotely, which allows us to take headshots of people wherever they're at, from their home, from working from home, whether they're in their office, in a headquarters, wherever they are, anywhere in the country, in their territories, franchise territories, and overseas as well. Doesn't make any difference. So we've got amazing remote technology that allows us to do that.
Incredible.
Fundamentally, it's quite a lot more than headshots. I've started calling them professional portraits because what happens in those sessions is quite magic. And often people end up with a considerable confidence boost as a result, which is brilliant. And that's the bit that I really love about it.
Amazing. It's about the impact, really, isn't it? It's not really just about the functional thing that you do. You actually genuinely go for the impact of not just that moment, but actually what that moment can bring.
I see it as a privilege. And I like to hold safe space for people wherever they are, whoever's employed me to take there. I think we own our face, and so many people have a emotional response to a camera being put in their face. So they don't even have a camera in their face. We're able to do it through using their own phone. So it takes away that horrible triggering, I'm in the spotlight. They're not in the spotlight. They're just having a conversation rather like we are. And then I capture them. The essence of them is what we like to do.
Amazing. Yeah, I am one of those people actually. Again, I know I do a lot of like video clips and stuff like that, but I genuinely don't enjoy. Yeah, I'm everywhere. I get that a lot. Don't feel like I am, but I am far more comfortable on video where I can just be myself and in the moment and then leave, than I am having my photo taken. I don't know what happens to my face, but when I'm having a photo taken, I don't know what to do with it. I guess that's quite common though, right?
It's I'd say 92% of people feel awkward. I've started capturing the data now. I ask people to put on a scale where they are 0 to 7. Nobody ever gets beyond 7. Very, very rare. Yeah, you're absolutely not alone. I'm looking at the psychological reasonings behind that, and it's massive. And so I kind of feel like I'm on a mission to say it can be enjoyable, it can be nice, it can be a compassionate, nice experience, but it's just getting that message out. But once I'm in with a company, word spreads very quickly, which is marvelous. I've got one company that I've taken 150 headshots for now, or professional portraits now, as I like to call them, because headshots, even the word, people think I'm being shot in the head, or mugshot, headshot. It's not your head, it's your face. It's the most precious thing. Isn't it?
I never even thought that.
So people say headshot, it just immediately, even for me, so we'll look at rebranding and taking headshot out and not a shot in the head. It can be something much nicer than that.
Literally never even thought of that, but now that's all I can think of.
I think probably subliminally you do, because you have that reaction, and a video camera and a rolling screen doesn't bother you so much, but it's just that shot. It's one shot, and it might be the wrong moment I've been caught at. And we've all seen photos displayed of us on Facebook or LinkedIn, and we go, oh my gosh, why did they choose that one? That's horrible.
Yeah.
And people genuinely, if they're, lots of companies now say send in a selfie, but people move away from the camera. They don't want to be close to it. And then that's the most ugly thing possible. But, it's very common.
Yeah.
But I'd like to make it much more pleasant for people. And I just think everybody deserves to have a image of themselves they really like. I think it's a gift for companies where there's maybe people that are at the heart of the business that aren't necessarily on show. They're not client facing, but they are on the website, or they're in, internal communications, and, employee of the month and things, and just have a picture. They go, oh, yeah, that's me. That's all right. It's not maybe I'm not going to put it on Tinder tomorrow because that's not the reason, but it looks like me, professional, friendly, engaged. So that's the pictures that we're after. And the joy of my job is, I'm really close, Stacey, to 100 5-star reviews on
Oh, wow.
Google. And at the awards ceremony where I last saw you, was it Trustice was saying,
Justice.
really suspicious if you've got too many 5-star reviews. And I was like, oh, no, I said, please leave me a review. It doesn't have to be 5 stars. Just be honest. But it's testament to the fact, as you say, it's transformative. People more often than not are very genuinely surprised that they can have a nice photo of themselves, which is great.
Yeah. I get that. I think it probably starts in childhood as well, doesn't it? Where you have to do these awkward, for those of you that aren't watching, aren't listening, I'm kind of turning to the side and craning my chin for a school photo pose. We've all been there. And for me, I think back to that.
Not the nitty nor a nurse. You've got some help just doing something at the last minute, and then you can go, why did they do that with my plaits? I look ridiculous. But it is. And I think, trauma's too strong a word, but I think those memories are really triggering. And we only need one person to say, oh, and we've all got family members to do that, teeth a bit off, just hide your teeth. Or one chap, was it yesterday or this morning that I took? He really liked the photo. He said, oh, Mum won't like it. I said, what do you mean your mum won't like it? He said, because of my thinning hairline. And I said, your mum gave birth to you. She should say you're gorgeous. I said, I can't see it and I'm a professional. But we've got these hang-ups and it's such a shame because the way we look actually is probably the least interesting thing about us, and I'm kind of on a bit of a mission. We say to my daughters particularly, but guys are getting it as well, young lads. It's all about how we look, but surely it's how we're showing up, what we've got to offer, the service we provide, the solutions. How brilliant we are at being us, rather than how my chin or nose or grey hair measures up to the next person. So I really try and instill that in people when I'm in the sessions. It's just say your grandkids love you, or you don't try and be anything else. So what if your nose is a bit wider than what you think is the right? It's just not such a tragic waste of our thought and energy. Thought process and time, and just we could, if we stop criticizing ourselves. So I'm there to be cheerleader, encourager, enthusiast, and there's always something nice to say about people. And it's very often, I'll tell people about their jobs, what they're doing at the weekend, what they're eating, how interesting something is that I've heard about them, rather than focusing on what they look like. And then it disarms people, and they can go, right, I'm just showing up as me. It's not the lips and the nose and the But we're all before I met with you, I was like, oh, I'll go and brush my hair again. Want to look nice. But then beyond that, I can brush my hair. But beyond that, this is me. I'm never going to be, a 6'2" ultra slim model. And nor would I want to be, honestly, because I've kind of come to terms with the fact I'm me now, and this is who I am.
Exactly that. And I think also what I always have to try to remember is that people see me all day, every day. I just don't see myself. Or I don't see, from that kind of third person. And so actually that picture that I'm seeing and going, oh dear, people see me like that. And that's normal for everybody else, because that's how they see me all day long.
Stacey, uniquely, wonderfully you.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Always.
Sometimes.
Take it from me.
Oh, absolutely. Tell me a little bit about the innovation behind what you do, because of course, when we think about photography and headshots or personal portraits, we kind of think about, whether we're on stage or in a setting or in a studio and somebody's got a camera, but it's a very physical interaction, isn't it? But actually, because what you do is remote, I'm guessing there's quite a lot of innovation behind that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for a start, there's no camera involved. We use an app that allows us to link up to individuals' mobile phones. So they are looking at something that's familiar with them. And if they've taken a selfie or they've been on a video call with their friends or they're making calls, they're used to that. It's not something that's scary. I do show my face now. So at the beginning, I'll say, this is me. This is what I'm doing. I'm not a bot. And they'll see, hopefully that I'm a friendly person. I said, there's absolutely no judgment. Often your company have asked you to do this. Well done and thank you. How are you feeling? It's not, whereas in the old days, or still happens, people have, companies have, because it's most efficient financially and to get everyone together, have everybody lined up at an all hands conference. So there's a big line, everybody's got, minute, 2 minutes, and has to sit there, somebody else behind them going, oh, hair looks nice, had that done today, or, nice top, don't often see that. And that all, again, that nervousness and things. But then there's always somebody who's hiding in the loo, there's somebody who's off on maternity, somebody who wasn't well, never got the full complement of your team. It doesn't happen. And then somebody leaves and somebody joins and you're never up to date. Whereas this makes having everybody so easy and so accessible. If people are in a wheelchair, disabled, can't get to the office, can't travel, they're an outlying person in Canada, a company that I just took recently, a security company, their MD was in Canada. It's no problem. He was photographed on the same day, same turnaround, no downtime for the business. Lots, not herding cats thing that we have to do. Everybody gets their own slot that suits them in their diary. And then when somebody joins, they can just fit in with the same on brand, cohesive look and feel.
Yeah, that makes sense. I have to ask you about AI as well, because unless you've fallen off of a truck into the desert, you can't escape this kind of deluge of AI, upload your photo, will make you look in all these different settings. So me and my other half were playing with this on ChatGPT a couple of days ago. He wanted to create a flyer for an event that he's doing, and he put his picture in. But although he put his picture in, the AI modified it. He didn't ask it to, it modified it. And he's like, well, no, actually, now you've made me look too old, make me look younger. And it was incredible what it was doing, but it wasn't him. How do you feel about all this?
I am embracing AI for so much, Stacey. I'm sure you are. I mean, it's just allowing us to be so efficient. I have a neuro-untypical brain, so very creative. I see everything. I'm not so great with lots of tasks that need repeating. I do have a model and a method, and I like to work with processes. I have to, but AI has made so much difference. Just using it, embracing it. But I think, and I've seen it. People that I know and love have got AI headshots of themselves. And I think, oh, they look stunning. That's brilliant. But I know that it's AI. But more importantly, and I might not. The reality is not. But I think the most human thing that we can hold on to in this AI manic, incredible thing is our face. So I strongly believe that it's really important that we show the authentic us, because if it's a cartoon photo or it's that's different. But if I show you a computer generated best version of myself, I know I'm not showing you me. And when you look at, I just think there's that disconnect. I think the last thing is us as being human. And if we can't be in the room with somebody, then can we just show our actual real face? So that's what I still hold on to. And it's coming for us. It will come for us. And, we'll be able to have videos. It's huge, isn't it? So we'll have video produced, AI produced videos of us. But I just think, really hoping that we'll all want to hold on to that uniquely humane humanity, real. And I think for me, the last thing is the eyes. The essence is in the eyes. So when I say to people, I don't ever say anymore, smile for me. I try and cause them to smile by something that I say to do. But it's not the smile in the mouth. So people think that a smile is not, it's in the eyes. And so I sometimes have 30 pictures that I've taken of a session with people. And I just spot the one where there's just that twinkle. There's that I'm human, you're human essence, emotion thing, which I don't.
I think that's what I hate so much about my own photo being taken, is that I know what I look like. I'm fine with what I look like. But when I smile, I feel like my eyes and my mouth do weird things. It's really strange. But you're right.
I should just close slightly. And for me, as a photographer who is looking for the essence of you and for you to come across, Stacey, as you do, if you've got one where your eyes are like you are when you look in the mirror, and don't get me on mirrors. Go, ooh. What's that? We never do that for anyone else, would we? We just wouldn't. And yet we do it to ourselves every single day. It's like, well, that's looking a bit, I've got this is true. Whereas you would never go up to your best friend, you wouldn't even do it to some people you didn't like. So why do we speak that over ourselves? What are we putting in terms of negativity? Every time we look at ourselves, we're looking critically. And it is a human thing. We're wired to do that, but we can unwire ourselves, can't we? There's amazing neuroplasticity in our brains if we just say, no, I'm going to look at myself like I'd look at my best friend. Yeah, looking a bit tired, but that's all right. You're doing well.
I love
how much better
the
to go through the day like that.
The self-compassion.
The role modeling that we do for our children and people around us. I'm on a mission. If people criticize themselves, I'm not. No, stop it in my sessions. No,
that's banned.
Tell me what you're good at. Not interested in your grey hair. There's more
I've earned
the
mine.
more important things, isn't there, for us to obsess
Yeah.
about?
Absolutely. I love that take. I think just going back on the AI point very quickly, in a world where, you know, AI does so much, I'm not anti-AI, AI does an awful lot behind the scenes on the podcast even, but in a world where you can outsource most things, personally, I don't think that you should outsource your face, because it's the last bastion of who we are in terms of that output, isn't it? Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. As tempting as it is to maybe look 5 years younger. I also think when you meet somebody in real life, I don't know about you, but if I'm going to go and meet somebody, I look at what they look like first, so that I don't walk into that place and kind of like, you know, be the one holding the rose in the red book. You know, like I want to look out for the face. And actually, if it doesn't look like them, it's a bit weird.
Again, there's that disconnect. So people have and it's often the gatekeeper is somebody I'm speaking to, like the marketing director. Absolute headache trying to get everybody's photos together. Totally get it. Got the budget for it. And then nothing happens. And now I know it's very often they've got the hang up with they're like, oh, I quite like the photo that was taken of me when I had my hair done 5 years ago and I just come from, you know. And so they will hold everything up because they've got that block. That means I've got to update it and I'm not so happy with how I look now, but it is how we look. So exactly as you say, they're not bothered about whether we've put on £5 since last time. They want to see something that looks like us so they can go, oh yeah, you're the one, you're the face I saw on LinkedIn or on the website. A friend of mine was having a divorce, really, really just complete shocker of a horrible time, and just thought, I just need to get a solicitor really quick. And she looked on some local solicitors' pages and she told me all she was looking for was a friendly face. And none of them had any pictures. I mean, this was a few years ago. I just, you know, professional services, even the most seen as professional, but you know, there's a lot. If we're client facing in any way, I think it's a disservice to people that are looking for us to not be available facially. Yeah, totally get that. Here's Linny, who's like AI guru, amazing guy. He was at the BFA conference last week, and he spoke on, you know, AI it's like at the moment it's in the dial-up internet phase. Every day it's massively improving itself. But he just said if we the human bit still is the low velocity, high value stuff, and I think photographing people and giving them confidence and making them want to show up for their company, whether it's in a photograph or it's on the stage, or that piece is still low velocity and high and low volume and very high value. I think that there's still, so I'm confident there's still a place for what I do. Augmented by AI in the background for sure, yeah.
And that's okay. So this year you were finalists at the Disruptive Franchise Awards for Supplier of the Year. Congratulations.
I was so thrilled.
I was so happy to have you there. Like, I really was. And it was such a lovely range in the supplier category. It was such a lovely, diverse range of different suppliers, actually, which I really loved about it. Tell us about your first experience of coming to the awards.
Well, it's a long way from Devon going up to Watford, and I also love a trip. Seeing lots of people on the way. But no, it was great. And I wasn't actually sure of anyone who was going other than you. But my knowledge of the franchise industry is one big family, nothing, you know, always something in common with somebody, or somebody knows somebody else. And yeah, it was a lovely, lovely event. So I went for VIP breakfast beforehand to get to know a few people, and I sat with the gorgeous Amrit from Wallfinch. She's always such a gentleman. I sat there front and centre in front, and Helen Wilson then came, who's a client. I've taken her photograph. She came on the stage, and she's marvellous, and a big thrill for me. She's got a massive, great picture that she'd had taken with me remotely, and it just looked fantastic as she so, and showed all her energy. So, and she gave me a shout out at the beginning. So I was like, right, I'm meant to be here. So yeah, really interesting bunch of people. Lovely thing, and this is a franchise thing, which I just find so attractive. And although I work in other areas, I'm so keen to break properly into the franchise industry because they're just such lovely people to work with, you know, and as you say, the vast range, you know, we've got the care industry and the children's activities and, you know, everything in between. And then, you know, the BFA, you've got the you know, Ice King and huge operators, but everybody's just got, I think it's just people, just nice people to do business with, just kind of attracted to the franchise market, just reasonable, good
Yeah, we had a few people there this year that just came and didn't know anybody. Like yourself, they really didn't have a clue, from one person to the next. And like you say, it's a recurring theme on the podcast. We have people come on and talk about the franchise industry, and everyone says the same thing. It's so welcoming. It's so lovely. My theory on this is because everybody in franchising, or certainly the sectors that I kind of sit across in franchising, we all want a bigger impact for the greater good. We're all doing whatever it is in our franchise to bring a better impact in our small corner of the world. I think that, as gushy as that sounds, I think it's quite important in terms of that. We don't have a common goal in terms of the businesses, and some of them are competitive even, but we have a common purpose, which is what I love about it.
Yeah. And I just see that through and through in all the breakout sessions in conferences and all the events across the board, the in-between conversations. Everybody's just looking at best practice. How can we do better? Don't seem to be protective over sharing, discoveries and observations and ways to improve. Yeah, it's really good.
It's really fun. Yeah, it's a nice place to be. I certainly had a few moments at the awards where I kind of just looked across the room, knowing that there were people there that had come with I genuinely love to go to events on my own. I really enjoy it. I find that's when I go and talk to the most people and really kind of integrate and throw myself in. But some lovely moments looking out at the room as everyone were doing activities or chatting or on a breakout, and just had this really just lovely warm, there's proper bonding going on here. That feeling was nice.
It must be. And you did well. It was an amazing event.
Thank you. Do you want to go next year? Yay! Which we're already working on.
Or it takes a lot of
which is cool. Yeah. Sarah, I've loved chatting to you. If I could wave a magic wand and take away fear of failure, what's the one thing you'd do?
That's a really great question. I would love to scale the transformative side of what I do. It's beyond headshots. Yes, we've talked about faces and for companies showing a cohesive brand and their whole team and celebrate. But I think there's something really deep about accepting ourselves and for companies having a responsibility to celebrate the faces of all their team. But yeah, the transformative bit that is enabled in one-to-one sessions. I think that's my passion. That's what I love to do. So if I could make that bigger and larger and more extensive. And I'm working international. I've got a new client who's just come on board in the States. I've got 50 portraits to do in the next few weeks. And so it's international. But my heart is in the, starting in the UK, but it can be but we're all humans, and there's lots and lots and lots and lots of people that don't feel great about showing their faces for their businesses. And so it's nice to change that in some way. Person by person, half an hour by half an hour.
Yeah.
And I love working with the companies that get it because they're so pro the culture, pro celebrating their people. Let's make this nice for people. And I'm excited for word getting round. It feels like it's building. So really excited about it.
I love that. And how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. There we go. Amazing. Thank you, Sarah. Anyone listening thinking, I need to speak to Sarah, how do they get in touch with you?
I'm on LinkedIn a lot, but they can email me, Sarah at Sarah Ayres, AIRES, brandphotography.co.uk. That's still the best email. Comes straight through to me. Yeah, or DM me on LinkedIn. Yeah, love to. So I can do individuals, but if you've got a team that's spread out and it's a real headache for you capturing everybody, and there's lots of unwillingness and people shy and not feeling great about having it, I promise I'll look after your team.
Thank you, Sarah. We'll put all of those links in the show notes as well so that you can easily contact Sarah if you want to get in touch. Sarah, thank you so much for being my guest this week. I hope that we see you at future Disruptive Franchise Awards because it was wonderful having you there. And I hope that you've enjoyed being podcast guest today and talking about all you've done. What I've really loved is to see that real human side of what lights you up. For anyone not watching this, listening instead, Sarah's face just lights up as she talks about this stuff, and it's been wonderful to be a part of. So thank you, Sarah.
Thank you so much. Really lovely to chat with you.
Thank you. That's it for this week. We'll see you next week on the Disruptive Franchise Podcast. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Before we finish up today, I'd love to just thank our podcast sponsors, Book When and Make Your Mark Podcast Agency, without whom this episode wouldn't have been possible. You can find more information on both amazing companies in the show notes. If you've enjoyed listening to today's episode, please also make sure that you hit the subscribe button. And I would absolutely love it if you left a review too. See you next time.